So you're trying to put together a toe cage pedal setup for maximum speed, comfort, control, and vibes. In this video, we'll talk about why one may want to ride toe cages, aka toe clips and straps, the different types of pedals, toe clips, and straps, and how to set it all up and fit it properly so that you can have a pedal setup that you'll love riding. There's a few advantages to riding toe clips and straps. Number one is if you like your platform pedals, but you just want a little bit more control. This allows you to pull up during your pedal stroke at the back end so that you can theoretically have more control and power and a smoother pedal stroke. Toe clips and straps are also very popular amongst fixed gear riders because we need direct control over the rear wheel, and pulling up allows us to have more control during more spots of the pedal stroke. So we can do things like skid stop or skip stop, or just having more back pedaling power by pulling up. Another big upside is that you can wear whatever shoes you want in them, with the caveat that you don't really mind getting them scuffed. So you can wear shoes that are a lot more comfortable for when you're off the bike, or more socially acceptable so you're not waddling around like Pingu. And just keep in mind you have to be somewhat okay with your shoes getting a bit scuffed up. No matter what kind of toe clips I've used, they've scuffed up the shoes. It doesn't really matter. Some are better than others, but they're going to get scuffed. And probably most importantly is that you really like the look of them, the fixie points. I think it's really important to have a bike that you look at and it inspires you to ride with just how beautiful it is. And the pedals are a part of that. And I think that these look the best out of any pedal. And there's a few different types of pedals that can accommodate cages and straps. First is a track style pedal because it originated from the track. What's really nice about these, especially if you're riding fixed gear, is that these are the smallest pedal that will accommodate a toe cage and strap. This is an MKS Sylvan Stream, and this is an MKS GR10. They are two very different styles of pedal, and two of the most popular pedal for cages and straps. And you can see that the Sylvan Stream is significantly smaller than the GR10, which really great for fixed gear riding because it gives you a lot more cornering clearance, which is actually why I'm switching over to these, because I have the 650Bs on this bike and I am clipping everything. A lot of these pedals also tend to have like these teeth and these ridges, making them grippier and less likely that you'll slide out of your pedal when you're pulling up. But the disadvantage is because it is small and because it's so pointy, you can get hot spots on your feet, especially if you are climbing on a big gear ratio. I actually had an MKS Sylvan poke through the sole of my boot when I was climbing a mountain, and it was just directly stabbing my sock at that point. The hot spots normally happen at the edges, but because it's not a big platform to be pedaling on, over long distances, it can get uncomfortable. Your mileage may vary. Something nifty about track pedals that probably nobody does anymore unless you're over the age of 75 is that these were designed to be used with slotted cleats. This was before clipless pedals were a thing, and those cleats slide into the rails of the pedal so that you're essentially clipless, but not really. The second style of pedal is the traditional pedal, and here we have a Welgo M2 whatever, and this is kind of like an in-between of the platform and the track pedal. It's a traditional pedal because something like this is a little wider than a track pedal, and it was traditionally used for road cycling and for mountain biking before clipless became all the rage. Because it's bigger, you're going to have a little bit less cornering clearance or ground clearance than a track pedal, but it's also going to be a little bit more comfortable. You're not going to have as painful hot spots, but it's just going to be an in-between pedal if that's what you're looking for. Unless we have the single-sided platform style pedal, these are probably the most popular for fixed gear riders for a couple of reasons. Well, they get rid of the hot spots because there's a huge platform to stick your foot on. It's also really nice because it has a big tab to flip the pedal over. They're really easy to get into. Some track style pedals have that. This one does not. So it's a little bit harder to get into than a single-sided platform. But because it's so easy to slide your foot in, I've also found it easy to accidentally slide my foot out when I'm pulling up really hard or trying to pedal really fast. And that big platform leads to some pedal strike in the corners. Not really an issue for most people, but my bike has special circumstances where pedal clearance is a problem with the ground. Honestly, if you've never tried toe clips and straps, I would recommend the MKS GR10 and then go from there. Keep in mind that BMX style pedals or these big platforms will not work with toe clips because you need a flat surface to put on the toe clip, and also you need like two holes for bolts to stick them on so that they're not sliding all around. There's also a couple different types of toe clips that you should get depending on what kind of shoe you'll be riding in. So this is the traditional or standard toe clip. They're made for thin-soled shoes. These are barefoot shoes, so they have super thin soles. They were originally made for cycling shoes before the advent of clipless pedals. You try to jam a sneaker in there, it doesn't exactly fit. So if you want to ride in most sneakers, you should get the deep toe clip, which is, it's confusing, okay? It's deep, but it means taller, like boxier, like more room for your toes to breathe. The sneaker fits just fine in a deep toe clip. This one's a little long for the shoe, but the point is that the height will fit a thick-soled sneaker. And there's different materials for toe clips. There's steel, aluminum, plastic. In my experience, plastic has been a pretty good all-rounder choice because it scuffs the shoes the least, and it's also very durable. If you want a little bit more fixie points, then I would go with steel. These will scuff your shoes more, but if you don't care about how you look and you care more about how your bike looks, this is the way to go. But if you do care about how you look, check out the absolutely made in USA Fixie Point shirt at zachy.com/merch. And then there's also aluminum toe clips, which I'm not a huge fan of because I've snapped a few after like 6 months to a year of riding. Steel is real when it comes to metal. And then there's also these wire cages from MKS that I used to have, and they are durable and they do look cool, but I was hoping they wouldn't scuff shoes. They still scuff shoes. Not as bad as like the rolled steel toe clips, but they still scuff shoes. And then there's also the wacky toe clips like the MKS quarter clip or the half clip, which don't use a strap. It's just like if you want to keep your foot on the pedal, I don't get it. And then there's also toe clips where they put something on the clip so it doesn't scuff your shoe as much because it's clearly a problem. I haven't tried any of these with like the leather on them, but maybe someday. This one has plastic on it, but if you're really concerned about scuffing your shoes with your toe clips, ride plastic cages. That's probably going to be the best. And if you're really, really concerned about scuffs on your shoes, don't ride toe clips. The BMX style pedal and strap will preserve your shoes a lot better. This whole video came about because I had a problem. So I started wearing barefoot shoes full time. If you're interested in why, check out this video on the zachy.mp4 channel about minimalism here. But because I switched shoes, that meant my pedal setup wasn't working. So I was riding a century ride, and at about mile like 80 to 85, my toes started cramping, and that was something that I have never experienced before. And I learned it's because my pedals didn't fit my shoe properly. And to figure out which pedal and toe clip combo will fit your shoe properly, there's a few measurements that you gotta take. So first, take the pedal that you'll be riding. You can do this on the bike or off the bike. I'll do it off the bike because it's easier to see. Take your shoe and line up the ball of the foot with the pedal spindle, because that's normally about where we pedal. And then measure how much shoe is sticking off from the edge of the pedal, and that is the size toe clip that you need. So I need about 45 to 50 millimeters of toe clip. And checking out MKS's handy dandy how to select a proper toe clip PDF, I'll put it in the description. Measurement number 1 is what I'm looking for, the length of the toe clip, and a size small is right in my range of what I need. And that's what I have here. With that pedal and that shoe, and it's a misconception that you should get a certain size of toe clip depending on what shoe size you are, but that's wrong. Because it also depends on your shoe, which different shoe brands have different length shoes, and also the size of your pedal. This pedal is a lot smaller than this pedal, so to have the same length foot reach, okay, I'm coining that term, foot reach, on this pedal, I would need a size down to get the same foot reach. Some toe clips also have one gate for the strap, and others have two for double straps. But you can use one strap on a double toe cage. You can use double straps on a single cage, and I'll show you how to do that after we talk about straps, because straps are super important, especially if you're a brakeless fixed gear rider, because these are your brakes. If these break, you no longer have brakes. So single versus double straps. Double straps are a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more secure and a lot more expensive. I would say get double straps if you can afford them, and especially if you're riding brakeless fixed gear, it's probably a good idea. You could still be fine with single straps, but the added comfort of having like a wider area to spread the force across the top of your foot, it's worth it. Most quality straps are going to be made out of leather. These are NJS Toshi double straps, which unfortunately they don't make anymore, rest in peace. There are similar ones like the MKS Fit Alpha double straps. Most quality straps are going to be laminated leather so that they don't slip when you're pulling on them. And the NJS ones also have a layer of plastic inside so that they don't stretch out as much over time, making them more durable. And essentially, if you ride them enough, they're going to pay for themselves. If you're riding fixed gear, nylon straps are pretty weenie because they can slip when you're pulling on them. Same thing with non-laminated leather straps. They can be fine for maybe a year of regular riding, but they'll stretch out, they'll start slipping. Not a fun time, especially if you're riding brakeless. I'd recommend these if you can afford them, if you're riding brakeless, because they will not fail on you. They are expensive, but I would say that they are very worth it. They also look sick. And if you're not ready to drop a Benjamin, a Jackson, and a Hamilton on stinking straps for your bike, the Existar laminated leather double toe straps is a really good option. Just a word of caution though, because my friend was descending a hill in San Francisco, brakeless, I know, kind of extreme, with these straps, and they snapped on him. Luckily he survived, but I recommend really investing in good quality straps, the best quality straps if you're riding brakeless fixed gear, because it can save your life. So if you just want to know what to buy, MKS GR10s with plastic, buy this, plastic toe clips and some NJS double straps. These will be bomb proof, these will last you forever, and they won't kill you, and they'll be comfortable, and they look cool. But I'm a special boy with special needs, so I'm going to be swapping it out for a different pedal setup, and I'll show you how to put everything together and even how to put double straps on a single strap cage. Step 1, get everything together. Step 2, install the toe clips. You just bolt them on. There isn't a left or right side for the toe clip, but there is a left and right for the pedal, and there's also usually a top and bottom for the pedal. So this is the top because it's more flat, so that means this is the front. Put this on, washer, bolt, nut, and do that for all 4 of the bolts. Now that the cages are on, adjust the left and rightness of the toe clip. So looking at my pedals, my old pedals, this is the right one. I know that I like the right one to be as far out as possible. And same with my left one. I figured this out over just years of trial and error. If you are installing these for the first time, just put them on kind of like in the middle and then adjust from there. So I like it out this way. And even then, because this is a different set of pedals and cages, I still might not need to make adjustments after riding it. Next up, install the straps. There is not a left or a right strap, they are just straps. Side note on these straps is that I've had these for 5.5 years now. They were like $200. Yeah, they're expensive up front, but they are holding up just fine. They look kind of like a squid or something right now, but they don't stretch much, and they are really comfy and feel like a really direct power transfer from pulling up on this strap and transferring it into the drivetrain. Really love these straps. Any NJS straps are going to be creme de la creme. And although they were $200 when I bought them, they've lasted 5 years, and compare that to a less good set of straps that you would pay 50 to 60 bucks on every year. These have paid for themselves. When installing the straps, you want the buckles to be on the outside of the pedal, and you want it to loop around and go through and down. So to do that, pull the strap through the pedal. I'm going to do the back end of the pedal first. Oh, these are tiny. Make sure that my pedal is lined up with the same hole and the same strap. I guess something to mention about the track pedals is that the holes are tiny and it's hard to get the strap through, but it'll get through with enough patience. Something I like to do is put the strap looking from the top underneath the hardware so that when the pedal is on the bike, it looks cleaner, or like bacon strips. Son of a... The GR10s have a big old slot and then no slot, so it's a lot easier to install a strap. Probably get these. Alright, I've been struggling for 45 minutes, so I'm gonna do something a little sacrilegious. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm a genius. Oh!
How tight? All the way?
Yeah, that's good, that's good. That's enough.
Okay.
Sick. Now we just gotta do that 3 more times. Forgive me, $200 straps. They don't make anymore. Holy moly. There you go. There you go. I'm sliding.
I need those socks for Pilates.
Yeah. What the heck, dude? Oh.
I'm trying to stop you from sliding.
MKS, why? Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Nice. Yeah. Thank you.
Is this so tight?
That's a great question. I don't know, MKS, why is it so tight? So after an hour and 20 minutes of swearing, you want to take your shoe. If you're riding multiple pairs of shoes, you can fit your straps to the biggest shoe that you ride in so that all your shoes can fit. Loop this through this gate, which is luckily the right size. And then loop that through this buckle and make it as tight as you please. I like it fairly tight so that my shoe doesn't go sliding out. You might like it looser if you want to get in and out of your pedal easier, but I like it tight for comfort and security. And then on a single toe cage with double straps, you just put it over and pretend like you have a gate. Tighten that down. Nice and snug. I like it snug. And there you have it. Just grease up the threads and install it on the bike. The drive side is standard threading, and the non-drive side is reverse threading. The way to remember it is that for the pedals, going forwards, bike motion is tightening. Looks pretty sick. It better work, and it better let me not clip when I'm cornering. If you're looking to buy yourself a new pedal setup, you can check out this video sponsor, Wabi Cycles. They have pretty good pedal setup that I have recommended in the description. And the really cool thing about Wabi is that you can customize your bike. Like if you're buying complete from them, you can tell them exactly what kind of pedals that you want and they will set it up for you. Because our bikes should be unique to you and me because we have very different needs, and Wabi can help you customize everything down from your stem length so that it fits perfectly right out of the box, your handlebar type, your saddle choice, even your gear ratio. And it's all put on some deliciously heat-treated Reynolds 7252 tubing that is made in the UK and put together in Taiwan. I visited a factory and they were super nice and passionate about what they do. Sure, check out the simple and sick bikes from Wabi Cycles, linked in the description.